Hello there.
Okay, this is... Hello, guys. Second day alive. Really, first full day. He really isn't even 24 hours old yet. He'll be 24 hours old in about...
He's drinking so fast.
No, I guess he is 24 hours. He was born, let's see. This is the second one that was born. 3:40. So he's 24 hours. He's 1 day old. He's 1 day old here.
Mm-hmm.
He was born at 3:45 and it's like 11 o'clock at night right now.
Good job, buddy. Okay, we're gonna give you a break. You're drinking too fast. Okay, let's wipe you off. Okay, there we go. Okay, here you go. Mommy, oops.
Okay, so I want you to don't let any air get into there. You gotta keep it at an angle so that the level stays right about here and he doesn't suck any air.
You okay, buddy? Okay, let's wipe you off a bit. Okay, you looking for more?
Usually put, yeah, like that, and the rest of these hands can go around there. Put his paw in between these fingers like that. That way you can hold his body and his head. Yeah, that's about what he drank. So he took about 20.
Okay.
A little over 20 maybe, because it was a little bit over 140. Right, so here's the fun part. So if you do that, I usually do that over the garbage can. Now if you just rub on his pee-pee a little bit,
he will start
he'll start going right away. It's like magic. Look, he's going. Okay, so this is our little girl, and she was very weak. Most of them were like, you know, like around 600, you know, grams.
Like
she was at
300.
370 wet, you know, so by the time she dried off, she was even you know, less.
356.
Something like that, yeah.
Was the exact.
So, but what a cutie. And she's doing really good. We've been having a tube feeder, but she's responding really well to that. So eventually maybe she'll even be able to suckle on her own.
Yeah, she's starting to when you put it in her mouth, but we need her to be
before we do that, what
more,
we're going to do today is we're going to give her a little bit of caramel syrup, and that's this here.
which
What
is
that
also known
does
as corn
It's
syrup.
corn syrup, yeah. And what that does is just...
Oh, she's peeing.
okay, it's okay. That's good.
Good girl.
Let her pee.
You're
So
doing
the
so
amount
good.
that you give, I'm not a veterinarian, so nobody sue me, but you just, is your pinky still clean or did you get pee on it?
This one has pee on it, but not this
Okay,
one.
so stick your pinky finger in there. Don't worry, we only use this for the pups. All right, there you go. Now just stick that in her mouth. Once she gets a taste of it, she'll open it up. Maybe she'll try to suckle on your finger. Is what the goal is. She tries to suckle on your finger. There you go. See, she opens it up. Now, does her mouth feel warm? If it feels cold, there's a problem and you can't feed her.
She's sucking on my finger.
Yeah, she's trying to suckle on your finger. So if she doesn't do that, or if it feels cold, that means that she hasn't been kept warm enough and her body temperature is too low, and don't even try to feed because it's just going to turn out bad.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna
assuming
leave
that she took that and it was good, and by the way, you can do that without the caramel syrup. Don't drop her. We're just using the caramel syrup because that's going to get her blood sugar up and make her take the food in better. So, there we go.
Okay,
Right,
now
now-
let's wipe her off. Where's the
There you go. Wipe her off. Okay. Right. Now, usually I face her this way because because I'm right-handed.
Me too.
Like this. You're right-handed too. All right. Now you're going to stick the end of the tube. First of all, we marked the tube here. All right, you see that black mark is. And we did that by measuring, hold on here. We did that by measuring from her mouth all the way to her bottom rib. Okay? And that's the distance.
So we could do...
Yeah, so you can just basically hold it there. And if you put that up to there, that should be about where that black mark is. You see the black mark? All right, so you stick it in, basically I usually stick it in the left side of her mouth. And only stick it in a little bit till she starts trying to swallow it. And if she's swallowing it down, it's going to go down the right tube. If you're forcing it down and pushing it down, it might go down the wrong tube. So you just let her swallow it in. And then you can be pretty sure it's going down. Now we're going to do some tests to make sure before we just start pumping liquid, because we don't want it to go into her lungs. But as long as she's swallowing it down as you're just, slowly, not with a lot of pressure, pushing it. And the way I marked that, actually, there's probably about a ½ inch extra there, so that's about right. Now, what you can do is, if she's still able to vocalize, then it's in the right tube. But you can just, squeeze her paw a little bit and make her vocalize, and then you know it's in the right tube. Also, what you can do, just so you know, is you could squeeze up on this a little bit, and if it creates a vacuum, then you're in the right place. And if it doesn't create a vacuum, then you're not in the right place. You're in her lungs. And then when you start pushing, just to make sure again, if you get a little bit, a cc or two, and you see it start coming out her nose or her mouth, stop immediately. You're not in the right place. So we're just gonna. You almost can't go too fast with this particular tube size, because even if you try to squeeze it,
I usually
hard.
go like one bold line to the other and then pause for a minute and then go again.
Yeah, you can keep steadily going unless you see something, gurgling out her nose or out her mouth. In this case, it might even would come out her mouth. If it comes out her mouth, it just means you're going a little too fast. But I don't think you're going too fast. This thing, I don't think this tube is even capable with this size dog. This is probably for a smaller animal, so you're completely safe with this one.
Okay, you're okay.
I think this is like a size 5 or something. I'll check that.
You okay?
You ever notice sometimes they stop and have that shake? Now, is there something coming out of her mouth?
Just a little bit of foam.
So what we did was we filled it, don't go all the way, we filled it about a cc or so, a little bit extra. And what was happening is that the first couple times, or the first time that I did this,
Good girl.
everything was fine. Wipe her mouth off a little bit. That's from the Carl stuff. The first time I did this, based on her weight, she needed, and the instructions on the formula, she needed about 12 or 12 and a half cc's, and that's what I gave her. And then about an hour later, she was gurgling, not gurgling, foam was coming out of her mouth. It was just bubbling up. And not out of her nose, so it wasn't like she was, aspirating or anything, but what happened was, as she's just, sitting around, the food was coming up a little bit into her mouth, and she was making froth around her, around her lips. So if you just back it off a cc or two from the actual prescribed amount, then that'll take care of that. Now the prescribed amount is a little bit hard to figure out, because the instructions on the formula will just tell you how much, the dog needs, how much the puppy needs. So it might say like 140. Well, that's all day long. If you're feeding every 3 hours, you got to take 140 divided by 8, because that's how many times a day in a 24-hour period you're going to feed her. So that's how you get the actual amount that you're going to feed per feeding time. Anyway, so let's put her over the, she's ready.
Oh, she's already peeing.
She's already peeing. Good job. Good job, little girl. So they can't even hear right now, but I like to say good potty. Anyway, Good training for me. Good training for her. At least you're seeing the procedure. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
How did you do it for me?
Usually you gotta, well, I'll tell you. So I fold this over and I start again. I hold this up usually with like my pinky and my thumb, and then I just kind of tickle up and down with my, either my ring finger or my middle finger. Right now I'm using my ring finger. That was just a couple little nuggets that came out.
Little nuggets.
Just a couple little nuggets.
Golden nuggets.
Golden nuggets. Brown nuggets. Chocolate chips. So this is a good time also to check and make sure that you've got the collar, on loose enough, because believe it or not, they grow sometimes so much in a day that it can be tight by the end of the day or by the next day before you wake up. So I always check it every time I feed them to make sure that it's loose. So I can fit a whole finger in there, and a little tiny puppy like this is quite loose. So, okay, so this is going to be our little girl's first time trying the bottle. We've been tube feeding her because she's small and weak. But let's see if she's strong enough now to do it. Let's see how she does. Let's see if she takes it first of all. All right, she took it in her mouth, no problem. And it looks like she latched onto it, and she is sucking.
Very fast.
Is she? Okay, good. That's good. Oh, little cutie. Now you gotta watch her nose. See if anything comes out. Take it out immediately if anything comes out. She's doing good. I think she's doing good. Okay, let's give her a little break here. Wipe off her mouth so that I can tell if anything comes out. Oops. All right. Sometimes once you get it in there, they'll take it. There you go. See, she's taking it. Wow, I'm really proud of her. She's doing it. Now, we'll see. I forgot to look and see what it was on the bottle, but we can weigh her and tell how much she took.
You said it was 85.
Oh, 85. Okay, so then we'll see what it is. And also we can tell by weighing her before and after. She weighed 322 grams before we fed her. And I figured out that 1 gram is about equal to 1 milliliter of water. So if she whatever she weighs after that, minus 322, that's
10 cc's
that's how much
is 1 milliliter.
No.
Well, you told me that.
No. No,
Okay,
I said
so
1 gram is equal. The milliliter and cc is about the same. But they both weigh about 1 gram. Alright, so what's that, about 70?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she's doing quite a lot.
So that's about 15. So let's just, it's a rough estimate. Let's weigh her and see. Oh, first of all, I guess, you know what? Yeah, let's go do that. So, here, take a towel. So this is going to, some is coming out, so that's going to make a difference. So she'll actually have drank more than the difference of what she weighs, because some is coming out here now.
Foam is coming out of her mouth.
Oh yeah, that means she took too much. Let's just wipe that off and she'll be alright though. It's not like, that's different than it foaming out her nose or gurgling.
Okay. You done peeing? Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go to another one.
There you go. Let's go to
For
the poo.
poops.
Yeah, so if he was 26 grams more after we fed him, but after pooing and peeing, means he drank more than 26 milliliters. Because he, there was weight in whatever he pooed and peed out. Is she going?
Not yet. Oh, yes.
All that noise that she's making means she's trying to squeeze something out. So we got something.
Oh, and another.
another one. All right, fold that over. I'll just give you a new one. Usually I fold it over. When I poop, I fold it over.
I do too.
You guys waste so much toilet paper around here. Yeah, she's foaming. We gotta wipe her off again.
Okay, I believe she's no.
She's still coming, huh?
Still coming. It's maybe about to be done. Still coloration. You done?
Okay.
Wait.
We got a couple of good chunks out of her.
Good.
All right. Let's go weigh her. Okay.
So she was
She was 322 before.
22 before. Oh. Don't fall.
She's 336. Watch her. So she's 336 now. She's taking about exactly what she should be taking. And she's peeing and pooing each time, and now she took it on her own, so I couldn't be happier.